Alison Solven from Stamp Crazy, and today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful card using the mini treat bag Thinlits dies. Now the Thinlit die makes the actual envelope for this card, but it also has other pieces, and I just wanted to remind you what those were. There's some banners. It cuts out a star and a heart. Now you can use the positive, which this one is, or you can actually cut out a star from the front of your Thinlit die. Your mini treat bag. And you've got here's all the little negatives and here's positives. So these are really great little strips that you can use, and you can of course make them longer. We've got the negative of the word enjoy, we've got the positive, we've got the word for you, but you could also use the negative. Don't have it on here, but you can use it. And then we've got this really cute little bow. So these elements are all cut out with the die, the mini Thinlit treat bag Thinlit die, including the bag. Okay, so let me just show you how to make the bag. So we need some cardstock, and this one here is cut to 6. You need it 6 inches to get the bag on. And then I've just got another piece over here to cut the other secondary piece. So these are the 2 pieces that you need to cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But before I do, as you can see on the front of the envelope here, we've cut out a piece with the deco label die. And there's no point in running this through and then running it through again when you've cut it out. So we just layer that on top and cut both pieces out at once. Just makes it easier. So I'll be right back. So I just wanted to show you, I've got it on top of the magnetic plate, and I've got a cutting plate on top of the magnetic board here. And then I've got my cardstock, and then my framelit, and then my deco label. So then I'm just going to put another cutting plate on top and run it through the Big Shot. So that's what the pieces look like, and I'm just going to pop them out. And I can set aside the dies. Here we go. Now, this also, not only does it cut out the die, it also scores it. So you're going to want to fold them on their score lines, just like so. Okay. And then you're going to fold this so that your little tab here is going to be on the inside. So when it goes together, you don't see that on the outside. So that's what it looks like all put together. Okay. What I did notice was when I was making it, is normally that would be fine if this piece was like this, because usually there's not a window cut out in the front. But I don't like seeing this extra little flap when you take the card out. So all I did was just trim that down a little bit. No, not too much, because you need a tab for it to be held together, but just take a little bit off and you'll be good. Now I use the fast fuse tape, which I absolutely love, and a silicone mat, because I can go over the edge and then it just peels right off the silicone mat. You don't really care. So you just get this started, and if you just run the bead down the whole length, and when you get to the end, you just give it a little flick, almost like a check mark. And this tape is as strong as sticky strip. It's really great. So you can go ahead and just glue that piece together. Just like that. And then I want these 2 pieces to fold over, so I'm going to add some sticky strip to the edge here. Give that little flick. Don't forget the flick. And then I'm just going to close the bottom off. Flick. Okay. And that will hold forever. So that's really awesome. And because I trimmed off that little piece, you can't see it. So the next thing I need is my white piece that I'm going to be stamping on, and I need my pink piece. But I also, here's the card, I also need to cut out the little deco label here. So what I do is I'm going to stick my little pink piece right inside as far as it'll go. And then I'm going to take my smaller deco label, because I want it to fit right inside like so, right? And then I want to just mark where I'm going to be cutting that out. So just as a little mark for me to see exactly where this goes. Okay, so now I can go ahead and run that through the Big Shot. Then I can just layer my white piece underneath, and again I just want some little reference marks here for when I'm going to stamp. Okay, just so I know that my image is going to be in the center. The stamp set we're going to use is Indescribable Gift. It's beautiful. It's got this gorgeous cherry blossom and some Easter sayings. Because I'm going to be watercoloring, I'm going to use Stays On ink. And that way when I add water to it, it won't run. The colors won't run. So I've got my little marks here, and so I can see where I want to stamp. And I can go ahead. For coloring, you can either use a blender pen with ink or an aqua painter. Either will work. And you just squeeze your ink onto the top. So you get a little well of ink like this. And I'm just going to pull it up with my aqua painter. I just want to make sure it's not too wet. Just color it in like so. And then when you want to change colors, you just brush it off. I'm just going to show you the difference between a blender pen and the aqua painter. So I've got my brown here, and I'm using a blender pen this time, and I'm just going to, it just blends the ink. So it's got a little bit more control with the blender pen. So it's just a personal preference. Again, you just brush it off until the color leaves your pen and you're ready for the next color. I prefer the aqua painter. It's just, I don't mind going outside the lines because it looks like a watercolor. I will have all the colors that I used here on my blog post, showing you the products that I used for this card. Okay, so just keep coloring. I just love this stamp set. Okay, so you get the idea of how to color this. It's just going to look like this, and then all I did was go ahead and glue this piece to the top. And then this just slides right into your envelope. It just slides in, so this becomes your envelope, and you're just going to slide in your actual card. And then you can add a saying. This one's got Happy Easter on it, but this one here I just used Happy Birthday. So you can use whatever greeting that you would like or that works for your occasion. So I just love these mini treat bags, and they're so fun to make. And they don't have to contain treats. They can if you want, but you can cut out the front, as you can see here, and make just an absolutely gorgeous card. So thanks to my friend Melva Peters for the awesome card, and thanks for joining me today. Happy stamping.